Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another I finally watched. So, we're going to the year of 1986. I finally watched a film by a French director that did not appear on my favourite 10 French director lists. I have been avoiding his work due to my imagination of what his work is like, the same way my imagination of Fellini kind of put me off watching Fellini for a while, and when I did watch Fellini, my imagination was correct. And I have watched one film now by ROHMER, finally, Le Rayon Vert, or The Green Ray from 1986. And it's exactly what I thought Eric Rohmer films were. The name of the film is kind of inspired by a Jules Verne story called The Green Ray, which is kind of, you know, the colour green is a symbol of hope, and the green ray is kind of a light that you see, and this potentially gives you a way of finding true love and happiness and all that stuff that doesn't actually exist in the real world. So this stars Marie Revere as Delphine. Now, Revere is pretty much a regular in Eric Rohmer's cinema, and this kind of follows her between July and August as she kind of tries to go on holiday and to find a partner maybe. And as you know, she talks to friends, meets friends, and kind of just travels around the countryside outside of Paris, and that's pretty much it. Now, granted, I knew that was kind of the Rohmer way, if you like. There's not really any plot particularly. This is a film about, you know, people sitting around talking about relationship nonsense. This is supposed to be one of Rohmer's finest films, one of his masterpieces. But I think you can probably tell that I did not find this to be a masterpiece in any way, shape or form. Visually, you know, the film is not very interesting at all. Again, Rohmer is interested in the characters and the people and human behaviour. He's not really interested in kind of framing those characters in beautiful compositions. But my main problem with the film is the main character. You know, I hesitate to call her a protagonist because that suggests there's an antagonist or something. The Delphine character is really quite annoying. She seems to just cry on a whim, generally. I mean, people ask her, why are you crying? And she kind of says that it's nothing. She is really annoying as a central character that we're supposed to be kind of engaged with. And also this idea that, you know, you're not normal unless you're, you know, in a relationship or whatever, which again is complete propaganda nonsense. Yeah, I just did not like this film at all. I mean, again, you could argue I'm kind of going in with preconceptions, and again, I did have preconceptions about what a ROHMER film is, and it played out exactly what I thought a ROHMER film would be. The same way Fellini films play out exactly what I thought a Fellini film would be. Moments of absolute genius, but long stretches of self-indulgence. And unfortunately, The Green Ray, despite having a very nice last kind of 15 minutes, I mean, it is only like an hour and a half. It could have easily been about 70 minutes. It needed a Bresson touch-up, I think. But again, the last 15 minutes is very enjoyable. I just thought she was way too whiny and just quite annoying as a character. But again, I know lots of people love the film, and lots of people love ROHMER. It's funny the number of times that I've kind of come very close to buying like a ROHMER DVD box set or something like that, just to get a taste of his work. But this film has put me off doing that. I may do that eventually, but again, I've got so much more films and filmmakers to watch before I get to that stage of delving back into ROHMER's work. Again, it's not necessarily a bad film, but from my perspective, I really just didn't see any trace of greatness or any trace of engagement in the film whatsoever. Again, the subject matter just doesn't interest me because it's just not true. And again, the main character is just so annoying that it's very difficult to engage with her. But again, I would say I can see why people love it, but I'm not sure I can in actual fact. You know, I've mentioned that I'm not really a huge fan of The Umbrellas of Cherbourg by Jacques Demy, but I can see why people love that. You know, again, it's a good film, but it's just not to my taste. But I can see why people adore that film. I can't really see why people would think The Green Ray is a masterpiece, but again, I'm sure there's plenty of films that I think are wonderful that people just scratch their head, and that's perfectly fine, because that's the joy of cinema, the joy of, you know, different horses for different courses. But yeah, so I finally watched an Eric ROHMER, Le Rayon Vert from 1986. It's probably going to be a while before I watch another Eric ROHMER film, but please let me know if there's other films. I know like Claire's Knee is very popular, as is Her Collarbone, but yeah, I think it might be a little while before I revisit ROHMER. I can only apologise to the people that love this film, but it's just not for me. You know, if perhaps Marie or Delphine, you know, if she'd maybe jumped off a cliff at the end of the film, then maybe I might have enjoyed it more. Spoiler alert, she doesn't jump off a cliff at the end, which is a little bit disappointing. So thanks very much for watching. Please let me know how much you love The Green Ray by Eric ROHMER, and what a Philistine I am. And hopefully you'll join me again for more I finally watched because there's quite a few films or a few directors that I have never seen and that I will finally get around to watching. But yeah, I don't think Eric Rohmer is going to appear in my favourite 10 French directors for a while. So this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.